Capricorn, something needs to be undone. And I'm also getting a message here that it's no fault of yours. Perhaps somebody's been pointing the finger at you, or maybe they will in the future, but you're not at fault for something. I also got the message here that the tragedy and calamity becomes thy opportunity. So whatever chaos is unfolding or has unfolded in the past is like the energy from it is something that you can harness and transmute and utilize for your own gain or to unlock some opportunity for yourself. And I also saw this baseball, and I could see it very clearly with the red stitches and everything, and it was coming really fast towards you, and it was a curveball. It was like, well, it was like kind of spinning. Like I could see it spinning. Anyways, you were standing there with the bat, and I felt this like, oh, 3 strikes, I'm out. I'm not going to be able to hit this curveball, but you do hit it. And whoever threw you the curveball thought you were going to strike out. But it's because they threw a curveball that you are able to hit a home run. I don't know. It's like somebody is... How do I say this? Hold on. Give me 1 second. It's really tricky. This energy is really tricky because it feels like somebody is trying to do something tricky, but make it seem like they're being straightforward. And you're onto it. You're onto it. So I got the poem, The Walrus and the Carpenter, which is a like pretty dark poem, actually. And if this reading ends up resonating with you, then I suggest that you read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's long, but it probably will have information in there for you or be some kind of confirmation for what you're going through. But when I did read it, what really caught me was the first 2 verses, and I'll tell them to you because they relate to the cards that came out. So the first verse is, the sun was shining on the sea, shining with all his might. He did his very best to make the billows smooth and bright. And this was odd because it was the middle of the night. And the second verse is, the moon was shining sulkily because she thought the sun had got no business to be there after the day was done. It's very rude of him, she said, to come and spoil all the fun. So there is the sun in place of the moon. The sun is out trying to outshine the moon. The sun is in the dark where it shouldn't be. And this is very synchronistic with the card that came out because we have darkening. And if you don't know the rest of the poem or the story, what ends up happening is the walrus and the carpenter, they trick a bunch of oysters into following them down the beach to a picnic or a party that they think they're going to, but they end up eating them. And it's because the sun was out and shining, making the billows smooth and bright, that the oysters thought, oh, there's nothing to worry about. I can see everything. So I'm just going to go along with it. But had the moon only been shining and had it been dark, they would have been more intuitively, instinctually, and even logically inclined to be more cautious. Because they would have known that in darkness, you cannot see everything. So you should be a little cautious, or your antenna should be up. So the sun, the walrus, and the carpenter orchestrated and worked together to create this trick. So you could be dealing with a group of people, or maybe just one, or I don't know what's happening and how this is working in your life, but it seems as though there is something going on here where there's multiple elements working together to create a kind of illusion of safety or an illusion of truth. But you're onto it, okay? You realize that it should actually be dark out at night. The sun should not be there. So someone might be over-explaining something to you, providing a lot of details. And while this on the surface might seem like, oh, they're being pretty transparent, your instincts are telling you, but this seems odd that they would tell me so much. Are they trying to convince me? Is this, it's like an overshare, too much detail, over explanation. Oftentimes when people, not always, it's not a rule, but in my experience anyways, I've found that when people are telling a lie, they tend to say more than they need to. And they give themselves away by doing that. If you're telling the truth, the answers are usually simple, short. The explanation doesn't have to be dragged out. Okay, so this is something to pay attention to. Whether you're getting into some kind of deal or you're working through uncovering something with someone, whatever it is, look for the places where there should be things that don't need to be said, or something should be a little bit mysterious at this point. It seems odd that everything would be illuminated in the night. Okay, so, and this is interesting because I'm reading this during eclipse season. This is very eclipse energy too. Then the other two cards that I got for you was coagulation, and winter. Coagulation. The letter G could be of significance for someone. I'm also seeing D, R, and A. Okay, don't worry if that's not significant. But when I was reading in this book, the meaning of this card and what she had to say about it, what stuck out to me was this line. Coagulation is when elements come together without much awareness, and in turn, they become unconsciously attached. And this reminded me of the oysters coming together unconsciously, unaware of what was about to happen to them. And they became attached to their outcome because of that. So perhaps, it doesn't have to be for all of you, but perhaps something has unfolded and happened and you've gotten yourself kind of mixed in or mixed up with something, but you weren't aware of everything when you got into this. You didn't see everything, even though someone made you feel like you could see everything. So maybe this is why it's no fault of yours. Okay? I also got something that you could be feeling some resentment. Okay? Because it almost feels like this energy that is tricky is very hard to separate from. And this energy that is tricky could be coming up for you in multiple situations, or multiple aspects of your life, like something sticky's going on at work or in your relationship or at home or whatever, right? Like there's something that you're going to turn into your opportunity, which is the most important thing to remember here. You're going to hit something out of the park, home run. And it's going to be a complete shock to whoever threw the curveball at you. Whoever thought they had the sun out, working in their favor. No way Capricorn's going to know. No, you expected the curveball because you are familiar with the dark, the hidden, the tricks. Okay? So you're ready for it. All right, Capricorn, let's get further in and see what else is going on. I just saw the number 9 on the time, so that could be significant for you too. Let's see. Seduction and mischief. That's the vibe. There's something going on here. This is the energy supporting you. See? The curveball. Someone's mischief is going to end up being, and I just caught all the cards. They were about to fall off the table, and I don't even know how I really did that, but I caught all the cards, and maybe this is going to be how you feel. I don't even know how I really ended up turning that into an opportunity, but I caught it. I caught that curveball with my bat, and I really cracked it. Cracked that ball out of the park. So somebody's... mischief turns into your opportunity. One second, there's something else here. Well, what is it? The illusionist in reverse. It's almost for someone here, okay, or a couple of you. It's almost like you knew something was going on, okay? You did get a little seduced by, well, yeah, here's the three, the walrus, the carpenter, and the sun, right? You did get a little seduced by what could have been going on over there, right? You're seduced by the darkness in some way, okay? Maybe it was just interesting to you. You were intrigued. This isn't for everyone. But the reason why is because you knew you would be able to dispel it. Like you knew you would be able to call it out or see it for what it was. It was almost like, let's see how much this person thinks they can get away with this. Because we have the illusionist in reverse. You're like, you're not going to fool me, but let's see how far you're going to take this. I'm getting that phrase like, give them enough rope. You know, it's like, let them keep going so that they can dig themselves a deeper hole. It's that kind of energy. Okay, but the main strength here for you, the energy supporting you, is you can't be tricked by people's seductions or people's mischief into making you do something or believe something. You're not the oyster. Okay, but that's how somebody maybe has perceived you. The challenge, protection in reverse. The visionary, transformation, and wisdom. As the challenge, the challenging energy. Yeah, the challenge here for you is to transmute, okay? It's to hit that curveball, not run away from it. Not to like exit the field and say, you know, I don't even have to deal with that curveball because I'm protected from it. You are protected from the damage that the person's trying to inflict on you in whatever way, okay? You are, but it comes through your own ability to transform and transmute this energy, to see that curveball as thy opportunity, okay? To use your wisdom here to maybe outsmart someone. You're not meant to simply walk away from it, is what I want to say. You could feel like you're up against a wall, though, as if you're lacking some protection. It's not that. Resolve. Yeah. Again, it's not that you're meant to just leave it alone, leave it behind. You're meant to resolve the energy by turning it around so it's for you. See this raven holding this little dark, well, it looks like a dark opal, I want to say. Maybe it's an obsidian or something like that. Some of you are really good at scrying. You could do some scrying. Okay. So something is going to be resolved. Okay. You could have also engaged with something or gotten into something and thinking like, okay, it's no big deal, I'm protected anyways. And then it ends up progressing to this weird place where you're like, what's going on? Why am I finding myself here? And again, it's because this is an opportunity in some way. So we're going to find out what's going on here. Okay, Spirit, tell me more for Capricorn. What's going on here for Capricorn, wherever Capricorn is in your chart? This card wants to come through. 4 of Wands in reverse. Shake up. This could be relating to some kind of stability, housing situation, or there's something that was supposed to be a celebration, or like a relationship that has turned upside down. But look, doesn't matter if it's reversed, if it's upside down. Because you can see the aim, the goal, the trickery behind it. Like, someone's turning something. Someone's twisting something, okay? Oh, yeah, the High Priestess for your overall energy. You see? And the High Priestess works with the dark, the darkening, the intuition, the knowledge, the hidden knowledge. Oh, yeah, look, you're wearing this ball here on your crown. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it there. Maybe you want to look up more about that crown and Isis and Hathor and where it comes from if you're interested. But she's wearing a necklace around her chest of a moon, the darkness, the High Priestess. That's you. So you're onto it. Okay, you see this. You're hearing the long-term plan. Okay. Ooh. Three of Swords at the bottom. What's that about, Spirit? Eight of Swords. Now, despite your power and your powerful presence that's coming through in this reading and the confidence that I'm feeling from you, you could have a very strong Neptune placement as well. Yes, this does create stress and anxiety and worry and fear on some level. Ten of Swords. Yeah, I mean, this isn't something that you necessarily want to deal with, okay? The Star. But it is on your path because you're going to see the big picture here. You're going to see very soon you are going to see the big picture of why this is happening. I'm hearing sister. Maybe that's for someone's sister is involved or something about a sister. Okay, the High Priestess for your overall energy. Well, let's use this deck actually, Spirit. What's this? Promised Land. You have almost reached your goal. Exactly, very soon. So don't stop now. Take every opportunity you can. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's what I'm feeling intuitively, and so are you. That you're almost there. Okay, what you don't see coming is the Eight of Wands. Things are going to move fast now. It feels like whatever this plan was that somebody had to strike you out, or I don't know, to get you to go into something that wasn't for your benefit, it's like it all starts to fall down. I'm actually seeing like these wands as things coming crashing down, like the architecture is falling down around this plan that someone had. Okay, things are crumbling. Tell me more. Grief in reverse. It's like, someone could have been telling you a sob story, okay, or wanting you to feel bad for them in some way. And because something doesn't end up going their way, or like you hit that curveball, or even when they throw it, you see something in their eyes. I'm seeing like eyes turn weird, like maybe black in a way, right? It's like you see something in someone's face, and that grief, that mask of grief or mask of maybe even empathy that somebody was wearing slips. And I'm hearing poison arrows with this Eight of Wands. I know this is an intense reading. But if it's like the true intentions just start like coming towards you, maybe they start saying things that are so-called out of character, but it's really their character. Or they start to get defensive. And I feel like you don't even have to do much. With the High Priestess, you're pretty quiet, actually. The Darkening, yeah, you're like, why are you saying so much? I'm not going to say anything. And it's in your silence or in your reservation and only laying out what you need to because you're telling the truth, so you don't need to over-explain, that someone else begins to spiral. Yeah. I'm trying to think about how this might apply to work, but I think that it could be, I mean, don't exclude it if you are thinking about work, but I think we're talking about some other kind of dynamic here. It doesn't have to be love, but why is this person doing this to Capricorn? The Maestro. They're trying to regain control in a situation. They're trying to orchestrate something so it goes in their favor. And they feel like they don't have control in the situation. Okay, your opportunity, Five of Wands. See, it's not to remove yourself from the conflict, it's to resolve it. And I don't mean that like in a Libra type way where you're like the mediator or peacekeeper. I mean, that's not always how Libra deals with things, but that came through, so maybe you know a Libra. But it's to take what's yours, I'm hearing. To defend? No, it's not really to defend. Strength. It's to stand there in your strength, to exhibit your strength in situation, your resolve, right? You don't need to, maybe this is the protection too in reverse. It's like you don't need to defend yourself, okay? It's like the contrast of energies becomes so glaringly obvious to anyone outside witnessing, and maybe even to yourself. Like, here's someone like, you know, going on and on and on and on, and you're not. People begin to ask, well, why is Capricorn, you know, like, you're not getting involved. You're not stooping to that level. Okay. Okay, I just got a work thing here. Somebody could be trying to compete with you at work, show off, you know, suck up to the boss, brown nose it, that kind of thing. And whoever this person is or the client, and whoever this person is like looking like, oh, it's like too much. This person's too much. And they're more curious about you. Because your quietness is not insecurity, it's a strength. They come to you. Okay. The challenge, the Ace of Wands. Let's see. What is this for the challenge? Well, and then the advice is the King of Wands. And look how the King of Wands is looking over at the Ace of Wands. Someone could have a tattoo on their arm here. Notable tattoo. Let's see. Foresight in reverse, Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, the torch, a light, foresight. Tell me more. Pillar of strength, fortify your resolve and stand strong in your truth. Do not let others undermine your faith. That's what we've been saying. Right, of course. There is something that you can't see exactly how it's going to turn out. Like, you're meant to hit that curveball, but when you go to swing your bat, you don't know if you're going to get a home run. You don't know if you're going to, like, strike out. You don't know if you're going to... I'm getting to be shut down, something like that. You don't know what's going to happen, but you swing it without fully knowing how it's going to turn out because you're comfortable with the dark. And the reason the reason why you're comfortable with the dark is because you're the high priestess. You're working with the energy of winter. You know the underworld, you know the night, you know the moon. And so you don't need to have a torch or the foresight in order to be a pillar of strength. And so maybe somebody's going to try to convince you that you need to do more or say more or prove something, or just to leave the field altogether, but you don't. You just stand there like a pillar of strength. I hope this is making sense for you, Capricorn. Okay, so it's a challenge because it's coming through as a challenge because you're going to feel like you need to know where it's all going, the world. And also I feel like, you know, you'd rather this just all be over. Okay, you've had enough of it now. King of Wands for your advice. Look, you can even hit this ball with your eyes closed. Freedom, downloads, betrayal, the alchemist, and pure passion. Look out for messages and signs from spirit. Sit quietly and receive the answers. I also feel like, how do I say that? Well, someone's bothering you. Okay, they're like nippy, or like they're constantly there. It almost also feels like somebody's scared to be quiet themselves, because when they're quiet or when they don't say anything, you realize the truth. So it's like they just kind of keep talking so you don't have time to think for yourself. Betrayal, the alchemist, and pure passion. Do some soul searching to find your true purpose. You have a special mission to fulfill. This is part of your special mission, is to turn this betrayal of the carpenter and the walrus and the sun, and transmute it into something, into this beautiful rose. And Spirit is giving you downloads on how to do it. And it's then at that point, after you do this, that you're able to totally be free from it. And this is for your benefit, because whatever you're going to do, transmute and work with this energy, it's going to, well, what is it going to do here? Death and falling. It's going to pull you out of some feeling of disempowerment, the long journey. It's going to make you realize that this whole long ordeal thing has been for a reason. Okay, so what's going to manifest in the next 3 months? And before I talk about that, I am going to do an extended. In the extended reading, we go a layer deeper into this message. We see what else comes through. I am curious here about this walrus carpenter thing. I'm probably going to get deeper into that. If you want to go to that, the link is in the description box below. If you can't, you don't like that idea, you're like, WTF, that's cool. Just trust that Spirit gave you everything you needed right here, right now. Okay, so the next 3 months, we have 8 of Pentacles. And I'm getting a message that someone's trying to come into your space. And I know a Capricorn, actually, who this that very phrase would resonate. Okay, so interesting. Okay, maybe there's other people out there who are going through similar things that you are. And you need to know that you're not the only one working through this or having to deal with these curveballs. Capricorns. Okay, maybe you want to join allegiance with other Capricorns, or people who have strong Capricorn energy. 8 of Pentacles, someone's trying to come through your space. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this spider as someone else trying to get into your space, something you've worked hard for and built. They have a janky web. Okay, their web isn't perfectly spun. Okay, it's janky, it's falling apart. They're trying to come into your space. There's also someone who's greedy here. They're letting something build up too. The Hermit. Right, look at you. So here's the spider. You're in your space in the darkening, doing your thing, going within, and somebody's trying to get into your private, like psychic space, physical space. Okay, so someone's gonna do that. Anything else in the next 3 months? Open door. If other options seem close to you, let them go. There's another way open to you. I feel like this is a double message here. One is that this person's going to try to seduce you and tempt you to open the door to them. It's like the carpenter and the walrus coming knocking on the oyster, on their door. Let me in. Okay? That's one possibility. The other possibility is maybe there's like a back door, some other way that you could make an exit here. But I don't know, because the whole message was not to just walk away from it. Long journey. So wait, so what should Capricorn do here? The moon. Maybe the answer is no response at all. Keep the lights out. Someone's knocking on the door, turn the lights out, they don't know you're home. Interesting message. Okay, I'm going to leave it there and hope that resonates, and trust it does for whoever needed to hear it. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.